Yo, 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 what up, though? This is your boy Crispy, back at it again on another episode of ShowNTalk. So, yesterday officially started our No Stream November. I did a drawing yesterday for the movie that we're going to discuss here today. I got 4 movies in the box. And the movie that was picked for today, was Commando. Starring Arnold Schwarzenegger, Ray Don Chong, Bill Duke, David Patrick Kelly, Vernon Wells, and Alyssa Milano. You know what I mean? Like I said, I've seen this movie, 1,001 times. And I could watch it again and again and again and again. The movie, it's just fun. You know what I mean? It's a very simple premise. You got Arnold Schwarzenegger's character, who's a guy named John Matrix. That's a badass name, to be honest with you. But, his daughter, Alyssa Milano's character, gets kidnapped, Jenny. And when that happens, it's like, they just woke up a fucking beast. You know what I'm saying? Because this dude stops at nothing to get his daughter back. Like, when I say nothing, I mean nothing. This dude broke into a gun store, stole a bunch of weapons, assaulted a bunch of mall security or mall cops, like, this dude, anybody who stood in his way was catching those hands, but I felt like this movie was borderline comedy too, because it's like, it's a certain comedic elements, man, especially the scene in the mall where the black dude gets on his walkie-talkie and he's, calling for backup. And then when he's describing John, or Matrix, he says, he's one giant motherfucker. That had me dying the first time I saw it, But, yeah, man, there's so many things wrong with this movie, too. It's a great movie, don't get me wrong, but it's a lot of things wrong with it. Like, for an example, when when Cindy, Ray Don Chong's character, in Matrix, when they finally get to the hideout where Dan Hedaya's character is hiding, that's the guy who hired Vernon Wells' character to basically kidnap his daughter to get Matrix to do what, Dan Hedaya wanted him to do, which was assassinate the president of a fictional country named Valverde. And he had a certain time limit to get there to do that. Now, David Patrick Kelly, he's in this movie too. I swear this dude plays a scumbag in a lot of films, man. You know what I mean? But in this movie, his death was well deserved. You know what I mean? But oh man. But anyway, yeah. Oh, and fun fact, Vernon Wells was not the original actor that was supposed to play Sully. Or not Sully, but Bennett. You know what I mean? I don't know why I say Sully. But Bennett. You know what I mean? It was originally another guy, but I guess he came in at the last minute when the other guy dropped out, and the vest that they had for him, you could tell was really small, and he was barely able to fit into it. So I guess they couldn't get another vest in time, or they couldn't make another one. But that doesn't matter, man. Like I said, this movie has a lot of action. You know what I mean? It can be brutal when it wants to. Like, for an example, the scene where Cook, Bill Duke's character, in the beginning, him and this other guy, they was going around assassinating Arnold's men, you know what I'm saying, from his unit. And then when Arnold confronted him at the motel, they started fighting. And then, Matrix, Arnold's character, I don't know why I keep saying Arnold, but Matrix character, punched him, and Cook fell into like this exposed piece of wood or whatever. He was impaled, you know what I mean? And then so how I know this movie's cheesy, they're fighting and then they fall into another room while you had this couple in there filming a porno, you know what I mean? But I don't know, man. Like I said, man, it was a lot of like shit that was unbelievable. Like, when you watch this movie, you gotta leave your brain at the door. You know what I mean? And another example of that is, like I said, when Matrix gets to the hideout where Dan Hedaya is, you know what I'm saying? You got all these men, all these guards, you know what I'm saying? These soldiers just standing around. and Matrix comes in and just starts blasting. You know what I mean? Throwing grenades, cutting people in the throat. You know what I'm saying? He cuts one dude's arm off. And I think it was supposed to be an extended scene where he holds the dude's arm and says, "Let me give you a hand," or something like that. But I guess it was too graphic. I don't know, but you can actually see him cut the dude's arm off. You know what I mean? So it's like this dude was just, hey, excuse me, y'all, that's my dryer in the background, but it's just one scene where he was just, just slowly walking through the garden, or you know what I'm saying, just running through the flowers or whatever, just offing dudes, just video gaming dudes. You know what I'm saying? He was just shooting, like everybody was just shooting at him. You know what I'm saying? Like you had the whole unit shooting at him, everybody, and nobody hit him. Nobody. You know what I'm saying? The only person that was successful in somewhat bringing him down for a second was Bennett. You know what I'm saying? And that's because Bennett caught him off guard. But it was stupid too. Like when Bennett had the gun on him, he could have just popped him right there. But Arnold got to his psyche. You know what I'm saying? Was messing with his psyche because he knew Bennett. You know what I'm saying? He knew Bennett wanted to hurt him bad. You know what I mean? So Bennett, he threw the gun, took out his knife, and then they started fighting. You know what I mean? And the scene is brutal too, where Bennett did, try to shoot him at the last second. Arnold picked up this big ass, long ass pipe and threw it through his chest. You know what I'm saying? It killed him instantly. And the catchphrases in this movie is funny too. Like when Matrix dropped Sully, you know what I'm saying? And Cindy asked him, what happened to Sully? And he said, "I let him go." You know what I mean? Then you had the end scene, like I just mentioned, where he said, "Let off some steam, Bennett." I'm not even going to try to do the Arnold impersonation. I got to get my boy on here to do that. I'm probably one of the only people I know that can't do it. But, yeah, man, it was just, it's a lot. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's this one scene where he planted explosives around this building. And then when they started, like, you know what I'm saying, when they detonated, you could clearly see mannequins standing around the building. You know what I mean? That part right there, I didn't catch the first time I seen this movie. It wasn't until I started watching reviews on this movie myself, is that, I looked closer, the next time I watched it and I saw it. I'm like, oh shit, those are mannequins. You know what I mean? But hey, it was the 80s, man. But anyway, if you haven't seen Commando, check it out. It's a must watch. You know what I'm saying? 1985. So, if I got to give this movie a grade, I will give it I'm going to give it an 8 out of 10. You know what I mean? To me, it's a great film. A lot of people might think it was cheesy and stupid. I mean, it is a cheesy, stupid movie, but it's fun. You know what I'm saying? And it deserves its 8. But that's all I got for you guys. And we will meet back here next week for our next drawing for the next movie. So stay tuned for that, and I will talk to y'all later. Peace.